Welcome back to the Division 2. In this video we are doing a very quick recap of state of the game, and then we're going to go into an actual talk about the game and exactly what they're doing to it. And I want you guys in the comments to express exactly how you feel about this game, but do not talk about illnesses and do not wish horrible things on people, because that will result in your comments being hidden from the channel. You'll essentially be banned from the comments because I'm not going to tolerate it. If you're going to bring illnesses and stuff in, then basically get off the channel. Go watch someone else, go do something else. So, to start things off, Title Update 9 is coming April the 21st, a special update because of some UI updates. They're changing some things in the UI, so that makes it a special update. And it's going to be client-side, so we're actually going to have to download the update before we can start playing again. They fixed the contaminated area. The M1A nerfs and stuff are coming, like Fox's Prayer and all that. They are being nerfed in that update. They are replacing the achievement for the Thieves' Den vendor, and you just need to enter the Dark Zone or something stupid like that now to get that achievement. And before we carry on, I just want to state that I've never in my life known a development team to have such a broken game to the point where they need to release bug fixes every single week. And when they do release bug fixes, they actually break twice as much as they fix. Another thing that they won't address in State of the Game is Red Storm are not actually working on the game anymore, but they're claiming stuff is still being done in PvP. It's more than likely balances and nothing else, but yes, Red Storm, Terry actually cleared it up on Twitter. They haven't been on the game for a while, so if you're wondering why PvP is so shit, that is the reason. One thing that's really baffled me, and I'm just going to quickly go through these notes and then we'll discuss things further, and I will be doing a separate video for the exotics, because there were a lot of people in chat not understanding, because as well as the devs not knowing what they're doing with the game, they don't know how to be straight to the point and tell people exactly how things are working. But exotics are not supposed to be the best thing out there. They are literally in this game to switch up your playstyle. That is the developer's words. The roles are better at the moment from higher difficulties, but higher difficulties, as we all know, the scaling and the balancing and stuff is all broken. So what they are doing is exotics will always have the highest minimum rolls in TU9, so difficulty will no longer matter. You can reconfigure a level 30 exotic to level 40. You can re-roll exotics using the reconfigure blueprints to make your level 40 ones have better stats, and you can re-roll as much as you want. The exotic you use to reconfigure doesn't keep the stats, so you'll lose your god rolls on your level 30s. They won't transfer up to the level 40. With the Merciless and the Sweet Dreams, you can switch them to the Lullaby and the Ruthless, then use the reconfigure blueprint to change their stats. There is no weighing in the re-rolls. You have the same chance of getting an incredibly shit roll as you do a god roll. Once the apparel event ends, the items will be available in the store for you to buy. And there's double XP again next week for the first 15 levels with whatever's new to the season. And a lot of you are probably going to complain about this, but I really don't care anymore. The whole of this video is going to be me standing staring at a wall, because that's pretty much all there is to do in this game at the moment. So now to actually go back through and have a discussion. Them saying that the UI updates mean it's a special update is a load of bollocks. Nobody cares about how the UI looks, like nowhere near as much as how the game actually plays. And it's just annoying the fact that Chris Gansler is sitting there and actually getting excited about changing some of the things in the UI and fixing their typos. So the Imperial Dynasty holster will probably no longer say the closet enemy instead of the closest. I mean, if you can give me a reason as to why that's exciting, then please do. They fixed the contaminated area. Like, there's no need to go into contaminated areas. If you feel the need to go into one, then okay, there are a few on the game, so I don't know why that's such an important fix. All the stuff being nerfed, that happens pretty much every single title update. That's something we are all used to by now, but the fact that they're doing that just takes the piss. The M1A is pretty much the only thing that's viable for heroic stuff at the moment. I mean, you can have other builds, but the classic M1A and the Baker's Dozen, literally until next Tuesday, are the best things in the game, and then they're just going to be put to shit, and is going to be back to another grind to get a good build. So if you have other things in mind that you want to build towards in the game, then I would do that right now, because as of next week, the M1A is going to be dead. Replacing the achievement for the Thieves' Den vendor, and you just need to enter the Dark Zone. That's just like, why take the Thieves' Den vendor or the Thieves' Den out of the game when that is an achievement? Like, why release an achievement if you're not 100% sure about something staying in the game? Like, you shouldn't be removing things that were implemented when the game first launched. The fact that Red Storm are no longer working on the game, like, it's been months and months since we've seen them. Like, they haven't been around for a long time. A lot of people are assuming that it's because they're working on Division 3. It could be the case, we don't know. but it could also be something related to the fact that Massive are also working on an Avatar game, so there could be some more things in the near future, possibly some point in the future, that are going to be made by Massive. So if there is a game that comes out and you're interested, just be careful, because chances are it'll be broken as shit. This really baffled me, and I'm going to talk about this more than likely in a few videos. And I'm actually going to be doing a couple of tests next week when Title Update 9 drops, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the fact that the developers have said that exotics are not supposed to be the best thing in the game, well, what is the fucking point of them? Like, seriously, can you actually name a game that doesn't have a higher tier of, like, loot quality than exotics, that exotics are not the best thing to get? You go and you play Destiny 2, you play Anthem, you get these exotic things that are rare to get. Which game does it so that they're not the best things? The fact that they've said these exotics are supposed to just switch up your playstyle, there's no point to exotics anymore. Like, if you have exotics and they work how they should, like, they're exotic, they're rare, they're supposed to be better than other things. If you have an exotic and it's not known to be the best thing, then you need to increase the drop chances. Having a 1% chance on normal going up to 7% on heroic for an exotic that's not supposed to be the best thing in the game is bullshit. The drop chances need to be upped closer to what they are for named items, if that's the case, because you're sitting there, I know, like, players have put over 100 hours in this game since Warlords released, and they haven't seen a single exotic. If they're not supposed to be the best thing in the game, and they're supposed to just switch your playstyle, then you need to make them more obtainable. And you definitely shouldn't be locking them behind certain content. If the Bighorn isn't supposed to be the best AR/rifle in the game, then why is it locked behind Legendary? If the Eagle Bearer is not supposed to be one of the best in the game, why is it locked behind the Raid? It just completely blows my fucking mind how the devs have come out and said that they're not supposed to be the best thing. They're fucking exotics! I can't stress it enough. They're supposed to be the best thing in the game. That's why they have such a low drop chance. I've never ever known a development team to be so out of touch with their own fucking game, their own creation, and they don't know what they're doing. It really, really pisses me off, because I want to enjoy this game, but with their stupidity and their incompetence, I just can't. There are literally days where I wake up and think to myself, like, do I want to go play Division 2? Is there anything I can think of to actually post a video for? And it's just, within 2 minutes, I'm like, nah, fuck that game. I'm going to go play something else. I'd have more fun playing Minecraft. I've always enjoyed Minecraft, but, like, a game that I absolutely hate, I would probably have more fun on it. Like, because this game, as I stated, it's like a drug. You for some reason, there's something that just always pulls you back into it. And there really shouldn't be. The game is horrible. And yes, I'm going to carry on ranting. Like, it does my head in. There's so many things every single week. None of it makes sense. I don't get it. It's just become such a joke to play this game. Like, this game has memed itself. Like, this game is the biggest joke of 2019 and 2020. The developers don't have a clue what they are doing. It's so bad right now, because carrying on, going through the notes and going into them a little bit more, like, more in depth, the fact that as of Title Update 9, the difficulty is no longer going to matter. You're still going to have your chances, but if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing Legendary, and I get a Pestilence drop, because of them reworking them, revamping them, changing the mechanics, if like, as of next Tuesday, when Title Update 9 comes out, you go into a Legendary mission. In some cases, they're harder than the fucking Raid. Yeah, you go in and you get a Pestilence. Say they put the minimum to 85% stats. Then you play Legendary, you get a Pestilence, it comes out with 1 God roll and 2 high stats. You could go and play normal difficulty with a 1% drop chance and get exactly the same fucking drop, or even better. Please explain how the difficulties actually matter anymore, besides the drop chance, because obviously you get a bit of a higher chance. It's still not high enough, nowhere near. But please explain, besides drop chance, how there is any point playing higher than normal difficulty anymore. There really isn't. If you can get the same or even better stats on normal difficulty than what you can on heroic, legendary, and whatever else they want to throw in the game at any point in the future, then there's no point. Like, what is the point of playing even hard difficulty if you can get the same or better rolls on normal? They're just completely removing the point to higher difficulties. All you're going to do, essentially, is playing on normal, you get a lower drop chance. Playing on heroic, you get a higher drop chance. but your loot is going to be the same. So the only reason you would have, like, cutting drop chance out of it, fuck the drop chance for a minute, the only reason you have, it's not even a reason, but the only thing that would be happening in the game from you playing heroic over normal as of title update 9 releasing is to have more bullet sponge enemies. Because you go in there and you're farming for the merciless. Let's just use the merciless as an example now. You go in there and you're playing normal or you're playing heroic. You play normal, you get a merciless to drop. It's got the same stats as what you're playing in heroic. The only thing different between those difficulties now, excluding drop chance, is the fact that it's more of a challenge. Heroic difficulty will have tougher enemies to take down with no extra rewards. Nothing at all. And heroic's always been said to have pointless, meaningless, like, just absolutely nothing. It really, really pisses me off. Because the only difficulty I play is heroic. And now, there is no reason to play it, because besides the drop chance, which still doesn't actually work out how it's supposed to, besides that, I'm just facing tougher enemies. That's literally all I'm doing. And with this reconfiguring bollocks, like, that's all it is. Like, they release warlords, they reset everything you've made progress on in the game, and they make you go through this tiny campaign which lasts a few hours. There's like 5 missions if you include the mission for Kina. Or like you get some side missions or whatever, but I mean there's 4 manhunt targets and then there's Kina. You go through that, you get yourself to level 40, you break out of New York, back into DC, and you're not getting exotics. Like, you can now reconfigure them. Like, I don't, like, I'm done. I'm so done with their bullshit. It's unbelievable. You sit there and you spend hours and hours getting an exotic, and you can take it up to level 40 from 30. So, let's just say, for an example with this reconfiguring stuff, you've only just started playing Division 2, and you got yourself up to level 40, and you got an exotic merciless to drop a level 30. That level 30 dropped with all god roll stats. It was the perfect piece. It was the best the merciless can get. When you use these stupid, pointless reconfigure blueprints, you take it from level 30 to level 40, it's going to lose its god roll stats. It doesn't clone at all. You literally just create a brand new merciless with a different level, and it has an RNG chance of coming out with good or shit rolls. So your level 30 god roll merciless is gone, it's in the bin, and is now being converted to a level 40 with 12% weapon damage and other shitty stats. That's the chance you've got to take. And then, obviously, the exotic components. You can re-roll these crappy exotics that they're not even worth it anymore because they're not the best things in the game. But you take a crappy stat and you can re-roll it as many times as you want to try and get them good stats. And that's what I was talking about when I said I'm going to do a test. Next week when Title Update 9 drops, probably the next time I play the game, because I have no reason to play it anytime sooner, realistically. The only thing I would play it for, like, if I was feeling creative and a challenge come to mind or something, I would jump on it. But other than that, I can't be bothered with the League because it's year 1 exotics only from the caches, and I have all of the year 1 exotics. I'm not bothered about the stats because they literally don't feel any better than a standard gun that I can find by killing a red bar enemy. Like, you get a honey badger to drop and chances are it's going to be better than the chameleon. You get a nerfed classic M1A, chances are it's going to be better than the merciless, or it's going to be better than the diamondback. And you go and find yourself an M60, that's going to be better than a pestilence. Like, this. The test I'm going to do next week is I have 20 exotic components with a few duplicate exotics in my stash. I'm going to use all 20 exotic components re-rolling the same weapon, and I want to see the chances of getting god roll stats when you re-roll, because I can guarantee you they're very fucking slim. You sit there and you grind your ass off. If you're lucky enough to get loads of exotics, you dismantle them all, you get yourself up to 20 components, and then you put all 20 of those through the machine, and it comes out with shit at the end because the chances of RNG when you're reconfiguring exotic gear pieces and weapons. The other thing I wanted to point out, like, there's no weighing in the re-rolls. Like, you have the same chances of getting a bad roll as you do a god roll, so it's all literally RNG. But the one thing that I want to talk about before we end this video is just the fact that if you're new to the game and you've only just got your first exotic, please do not dismantle it for the exotic component. If you have grinded for hours and hours and you found yourself a Merciless and you want that to level 40, bear in mind that when you dismantle it and get the exotic component, you can't just craft a new one at level 40. Like, you can't do anything with that because you need the components, but you also need the weapon or the gear piece. Because it's going to work with gear pieces too. But you need to have components and you need to have the weapons. So if you have a Merciless, you dismantle it. Like, you have one Merciless and you dismantle it to get a component. You then cannot create a new one at level 40 because you will no longer have the Merciless. You need to have components and the thing you're wanting to reconfigure. So players that have only seen a couple of exotics, like, there's no point. If you like collecting exotics and you've got, I don't know, say you're missing 3 of them or something, you've only got 1 of each one and you don't have any components left, don't go dismantling your exotics because you need them in order to reconfigure them. The only reason I say that's a bad thing is because of how low the drop chances actually are. Like, it's stupid. Some players have put over 100 hours in trying to get exotics and they can't get them to drop. But on that note, yes, it's been a rant. Do I care? No, I don't give a shit. Like, I have no reason to play this game, and I'm going to keep digging at the devs until the game either completely fully dies off or the devs get their fingers out their asses and actually do what they're supposed to do with this game and make it entertaining, because it's the other end of the spectrum, like, completely. They're giving you exotic caches that are locked to year 1 items, yet all those year 1 items, you can just play heroic difficulty and get them to drop anywhere. And not only that, they have a chance of coming out with triple god rolls. Like, it's all over the place. There is so much wrong with this game at the moment. It's never ever been this bad. It has been bad before. Like, there's been armor glitches in the DZ. There's been a lot. There's been the raid coming out, and that was super controversial with how fast some players completed it. And, like, certain platforms like the Xbox didn't have a raid completion for 36 hours or something, yet PC had it done in 5.5. And they have no clue in this world what they are doing with this game. And there are people in the community that will just sit there and let the devs do what they are doing and just take it. Because I don't know what the reasoning is behind it, but people just won't speak out and say exactly how they are fucking feeling about this game. And that's why I'm leaving these comments fully open. Like, chat as much shit as you want. Sit there and ramble. Like, I know it's through text or whatever, but sit there and ramble and just say exactly how you feel about this game. Don't hold anything back. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, you're just picking on the devs, you're being nasty, you're always negative in your videos. Well, if someone doesn't point out what the devs are fucking up with, the devs will never know. And I know that they don't normally do anything about it, but if someone makes a mistake and they're not told, they don't know how to correct it. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to keep posting videos for this game for as long as I feel the need to. I'm not quitting. I don't know where that come from. I've done a couple of streams recently and people are saying, why did you quit Division? I haven't quit. I just at the moment have no reason to play it. None of my mates are playing it. I can't be bothered to play it because there are so many games out there that are just so much more fun than this. But if the devs bring anything in, when there's new updates and stuff, state of the games, I'll cover it all. I'll keep you in the loop about it. If there's anything you're stuck with, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to post videos and let you know how to fix certain things and how certain mechanics work in the game and all of that good jazz. I'm here for the community, and I'm just going to say this once and that's going to be it. But fuck the developers. They are so out of touch with this game, it's stupid. But that's going to do it for the video. Remember, just be honest and brutal in the comments. I want to see exactly how you're feeling. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Nice little rant, me shouting and screaming about the game and how they've broken all the exotics and all that. But yeah, I'll see you in a video very soon. I will be back on normal talking terms, not ranting and stuff, to explain properly how this reconfigure bollocks works. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching.